Welcome back here to Talking to the Game. It's your boy Marquise.
It's your boy Joe Soup.
KB.
And before we start the show, we just want to give a moment of silence to Hank Aaron. And also, we want to give a moment of silence to Kobe Bryant. So, yeah, we're back. We just had to do that because we definitely had to show love to those two legends right there.
Yes, sir.
And then we also have some exciting news. Also want to talk about the NBA today. We're going to get into football as well. But let's give a shout out to the two ladies that for the first time in the NBA, it's going to be two female officials officiating the same game. We want to talk about Saga and also Schroeder. We just want to congratulate them as well. The fact that it's just finally two females on the same court. But let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's talk about Demarcus Cousins' performance in the Houston Rockets.
I think they're going to be all right. I think I'm 6 or 7, but I think they're going to be all right.
I feel like they'll be okay.
I like John Wall, man. John Wall, I think he's going to return, I think, around April or so.
Second half of the season, you think?
Second half. Closer to the All-Star game, he's going to turn it back on. You already see he has the same mindset, his tenacity is the same from when right before he got hurt. He got a little bigger. He's still quick. I think that he can take that team at least to a 6 seed.
6 seed?
6 seed.
What about you?
I mean, I agree to a certain extent because I really do feel like John Wall has been injury prone for like a number of his career, and it's pretty bad because John Wall is a great talent. Like you said, he's quick, man. That man can get to the basket very fast, But his problem is, man, he just gets injured too easily, and can he really stay healthy to actually help the team produce as well as everybody wants them to? And if he can, how far would they end up going? Because it is a very difficult conference.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll give him 7th, and that maybe is very strong.
But what about DeMarcus Cousins and his performance Saturday against the Dallas Mavericks?
I'll give him that. He came up. He scored 5 points the game before, and then this man dropped 28, so I'll give him that. He did great. But Boogie is injury prone as well, and he's a hothead.
Look, I think once he really works himself back into playing shape again, because he was out for, 2 years?
Boogie?
Yeah, it was at least a year.
Yeah.
So my thing is that you out for 6 months, you got to work your way back. It's going to take a while for you to get your body back into really playing that NBA-style game. Yeah. He's been watching. So if he can keep this up, I'm excited to see what he can do individually and how he can help that team and transform because he's a hell of a talent.
Yes, sir.
He is a hell of a talent. When he was coming out of Kentucky, man.
Them Kentucky days, boy. Plus Depot
with
them as well.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
PG County product.
That guy.
And
still PJ there, Eric G there. I mean, they got a nice little role player roster going on. Like guys,
don't forget about that young talent Christian Woods, and that's my thing too. Yes, if DeMarcus Cousins could play like this, he had 28 points, had 5 assists and 17 rebounds in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Shot 19 for 15 from the floor and went 6 for 7 from the free throw line. And we could just limit them personal fouls. And he could give me some more blocks because he ain't getting no blocks that game either.
He didn't.
But the fact that he had that type of production, and it's been a while since we've seen DeMarcus Cousins give us numbers like this.
He had a +9 on against the Mavericks.
Do you think he's still that defensive presence that he was in Sacramento, that he was briefly in New Orleans? Like, do you think he's still that defensive presence that's going to be like, nobody's coming in the middle? Like, is he good enough to replace what they had in Clint Capella?
Like you said, I think he brings his body back.
Yeah. I think as time goes on, if he continues to produce this the way he did, like he did against the Mavericks, then we will start to see him emerge as that player that we used to call as like one of those top big men.
Mm.
And that's just my perspective. I mean, even Eric Gordon, he's been balling now.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get John Wall back on it. Mm-hmm. Once Vic gets at it, I don't know. Vic is a different.
Guy. He's smooth, man.
It's just he's been hurt as well.
That's true.
But he's always
on
been
that
good.
one injury but it kept him out.
Yeah,
it kept him out.
I mean, that was his whole knee, his whole patella, man. Well, so he had to have been out.
But the way he came back,
He
still
came
pretty
back.
smooth.
He
Back
came
and
back
said,
cool. He came back
Hold
cool.
on, wait a
though.
minute.
He did.
Y'all thought I was
Did
finished?
y'all see the
Definitely
reverse he
now.
did around the
He
guy?
definitely
the
came
Euro?
back
now.
cool. He
Come on.
definitely came back
I'm telling
cool.
you.
But I just like to see Demarcus Cousins pick it up. Because if he picks it up, I feel like they could thrive. Because he gives them that inside presence with Christian Woods.
Yeah, that boy's he's a problem.
That is going to be them
I
two
slept on him
together.
for a little bit.
What year is that for him? What year is this for him, Chris?
I'm not sure because
He hasn't played before.
yeah,
but everybody
nobody
knows
really
he has
recognize
talent.
him.
No, but everybody. But now after they play him, they're like, that boy got talent. Like, he has a gift that he can be in the NBA for 10 years. I think at least 7 or 8 years. He has the ability, especially as a big man. He's versatile.
He's definitely
So-
versatile. He's still young. We don't know exactly what we're going to get from him yet.
Yeah.
Right now, he's hot. Yeah, everybody see what he's doing right now. But let's give him some more years in the league to see if he's going to maintain that consistency.
I mean, we got to see how they're going to do these next 5 games. Washington, Portland, Pelicans, and they got Thunders back-to-back. They can do they can
all
play
winnable
well.
games.
It's
All
winnable
winnable
game,
games.
but I'm
All
counting
of
2 dubs right
But
now.
and I'm trying to see when Vic's going to come
Sorry,
back.
but tomorrow is definitely a dub.
That's what I'm saying. That's 1 dub.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna beat the Pelicans.
Maybe.
That's going to be tough.
Maybe.
That's gonna be a good game.
Maybe.
OKC,
I like that
they
game,
might
though.
not be OKC either.
They got playing back to
I
back.
mean, who's their big in
That's-
OKC?
I'm not sure, but they got a lot of young talent. I know
Yeah, that's true.
Shai's going to
Yeah,
get it in.
Yeah.
Shai is going to
Yeah,
get it in.
but they're not the same Thunder team as last year.
Nah.
They
'Cause
not,
they
but-
lost Steven Adams and they lost
Chris.
CP3.
Yeah,
But
like,
you got to think, this Houston team is still trying to find the makeup of their team.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good game.
yeah.
I
agree
don't
with that.
think
I agree
it's
with that.
going to be a blowout at
No,
all.
not at all.
So we just got to see right there. As far as that, let's just switch over to the Denver Nuggets because I wonder. I am really wondering. Do y'all
What
think they are a contender team? Do y'all really think they could come out the West and win the finals?
No.
Are we talking about today or are we talking about the start of the season? We
No.
I am
talking about Vegas
about-
odds or are we talking about right now looking at, like, I'm on NBA.com looking at the standings like,
No.
I'm talking about.
I believe in Jamal Murray.
Really?
I believe in him to the point that he's going to be an all-star eventually, and he's a bucket getter. I like that. But as far as their team going far, I don't see them making that repeat success as last year.
And they did have to come back from down 3-1 twice.
And they did it successfully though. But that's the problem.
And then as soon as they made it to the conference finals, done, exhausted.
But that's the problem though. The fact that they were able to do that, and really they didn't change the team from last year. Michael
They
Porter,
lost a definitely big. They lost a big piece in Jeremy
Jeremy
Grant.
Grant, and he went to Detroit, right?
Yes.
So I like that, but I think Michael Porter is starting to come into his own, and I like his game is pretty fluid. He's still learning himself. This is his third year in the league. He was injured his first year, played last year. So the thing is, that guy's fluid. He's athletic, and the guy he's a bucket getter. I mean, he's come from basketball roots. Like his father, Michael Porter, was in the league.
Yeah.
So I mean, like at this point, it's like he knows how to get buckets. You saw that when he was in high school, honestly.
Oh, he was dog.
So what I'm thinking is maybe they won't go as far, and I don't think they'll have that success. But this is a team that you cannot sleep on.
I don't think they're a sleeper, but I don't think they're a contender.
I agree.
Not yet.
They're fifth in the conference. I'm not surprised.
7-3
20% into the season.
I'm
though.
not. Yeah.
20%.
But I'm not surprised if they finish fifth either.
True.
So, but my thing is when you have your big man, who's your only 20-point plus player, and he's your highest assist player. No other player averages over 5 assists, but your big man.
That's a problem.
Only Jokey, the big Joker.
He's
He's
the
the
only-
only one.
He's only passer. Jamal Murray, when he came out of Kentucky, he wasn't a passer.
I
That
know,
dude was
but
crafty.
the thing
Yeah.
is, he doesn't get enough buckets for him to only average 4 assists. He's not even averaging over 20.
Okay.
He haven't averaged over 20 since he's been in the league.
I agree.
This is his highest as of right now because his total points production might go back down to 18, but he never averaged over 20.
So this is the problem that sometimes I have with statistics and looking at that, right? He never averaged over 20. Yeah, when we see him in the playoffs in that bubble last year, he's like, we're going to get 20. He hit 35. He hit 50.
Yeah, he did.
Like, he hit 50. He was in 30s. Like, without him, they would not have gotten to the conference final. They wouldn't have gotten past Utah in the first round.
This is very true, but I don't think.
I'm just saying, like, I think playoff Murray. I'm counting on playoff Murray. I think that playoff Murray is going to take him to the second round.
I don't think he's going to
round.
be the same guy as he was in the bubble when it hits the playoffs. I don't think he's going to be Bubble Murray. That's what I'm calling. I'm not going to call him playoff Murray. He was Bubble Murray.
That's the first time he was in the playoffs,
which was different.
First time he was in playoffs?
Pretty sure they made it the year before.
They did?
Yeah.
First round, though.
Yeah, but
And they
either
lost to
way,
Portland or something like that.
They've been a threat for a little bit, but
They're a
I wouldn't say a
threat.
threat.
They're not a contender. It's different. Yeah,
They-
like Utah's a
they-
threat, but they're not a contender.
Nobody, none of them teams are contenders to me. But my thing is that he's not. I don't think I'm going to get the same Murray if he goes back into the playoffs as he was in the bubble, and that's my inconsistency with him. Like yes, he's your second best player on the team, but he's not getting enough buckets for me for him to be averaging so as little as assists. While you got Jokic over here averaging like 25, 26 with 9 assists, 10 assists, he's damn near averaging a triple double, honestly. But he should not be your premier ball handler to me.
no, I understand.
Like I wouldn't like my center bringing up the ball and averaging 9 assists, and he's still getting the most buckets on the team.
Okay.
Like none of your
I
guards
agree
gonna
with
average over 5.
He shouldn't be leading
Assists?
the team in 4
I
different
get it.
categories.
I get it. Trust me,
He's
I
literally
get it.
leading them in 4 different categories.
Again, the same thing we talked about last week in Portland. I feel as though playoff Murray is going to surprise some people, and he's going to be the guy that eventually comes out and be like, I may not be great in the regular season, averaging 20 points, but in the playoffs, I show up. That's the faith, because I saw that. I can only go based off what I see. And what I saw last year in the NBA, NFL, MLB is what have you done for me lately? Lately, what I've seen from Jamal Murray in the playoffs, no matter what setting it was, bubble, in stadiums or whatever, he goes off. So what I'm saying is, I have to trust that come playoff time, he's going to be able to, all right, pick it up. You may not average 20, but you got to average 25 in the playoffs. There's no way they win one game if you don't average 25 in the playoffs.
He averaged 26.5 in the bubble with 6.6 assists. He was shooting 50 from the field goal, and then he had 45 from the 3. And he was shooting 89.
That's not bad. That's
Yeah,
that's
that's crazy.
That's good.
And he was shooting 89 from the free throw.
They played with 5 games that first round, 5 and 6.
It was like 5.
Yeah.
5
or
and
6.
7 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
No, 5. Yeah, 5, 7.
No, he played 7 games.
Oh, 7 games, both. Oh, yeah, both of them. So
'cause he
7,
came back
7,
3-1.
7, 7, and 5. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because they lost in 5.
Yeah.
So,
that's
what's
that's
that?
the latest.
14.
Yeah.
19 games. He shot 45%.
From 3. I mean, but
That's-
that's in the bubble, though.
It don't matter. That's
in the
playoffs.
bubble, though.
That's playoffs.
Bubble was a little different.
Because of the shooting. and all that stuff.
Everybody was different in the bubble. There was a lot of
Yeah.
players
Everybody-
in the bubble who
The
were
Suns went 8-0 in the bubble.
yeah, and still
Well,
they make
'cause
the
you know,
playoffs.
well, it came into a last second thing with Portland, that whole debacle. But Devin Booker, I mean, I get it. Trust me, I get
I'm just
it.
saying, the
But
bubble was
when he got the
Everybody's
opportunity, what did he
different,
do?
players was acting different.
But when he got that opportunity, what did he do?
I mean, yeah, he hooped. He hooped.
Like,
But
that's his job as a
expected
starter. That's literally his job as the
a
starter.
better year for him this year.
Oh, I
Not
get
an
it, I get it.
average. Oh, Jamal Murray, I'm going to
I get
give
that.
you 18 points for assists.
He's doing the same thing T.J. Warren did, but it is what it is. He went back to averaging 15 points a game.
Yeah, T.J. Warren, but not too. Yeah, T.J. Warren was even different in the bubble, but still,
Yeah, I know, but
it's just not like
no,
you
Hooper's
expect
hoop.
him to start making that turn, which leads me to my next point. Why Shaq criticized Donovan Mitchell?
That was the point right there.
Because
Yeah.
you have to make that next turn. You have to
Definitely
have that
transition.
it factor. With exactly what Shaq was talking about. I
Especially
understand
if
he
it's a
didn't want to give him that reaction after the type of game they won, but you have to think about it. When is that turning point for them? Like when you go into year 4, when you go into year 5, year 6, are you going to wait later on in your career to make that turn, to make that adjustment? Especially if you have a team like the Denver Nuggets or the Utah Jazz who are supposed to be contenders for the finals, who's supposed to be able to knock off the Clippers, I guess, or the Lakers and get to that finals. But if your star player is not giving you superstar production, what do you do?
I still think he's trying to figure out his game as well.
Yeah.
I think his most comparable person to him would be like a Dwayne Wade, like a slasher,
Which
guy that
everybody
can finish.
compares him to.
But he's trying to shoot the ball more. He's trying to shoot three more. He's trying to do his pull-up game, which leads me to believe he's trying new stuff. Like, he's not consistent in any one of them, to be honest with you, other than driving for real, to me. So what I'm saying, I think that once he finds his game and what he's really good at, he's good at driving, but teams stop that. He's got to find a more consistent jumper, and he's got to find a better way to win, because he's crafty, very crafty scorer. But there's something about the next tier, that the way that they can be crafty, use that crab dribble, use your body to start drawing fouls and stuff like that. He's going straight up because he thinks that he's stronger than a lot of people, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So once he finds that way, like a Kyrie, that can use his size and use his explosiveness to get past people and get to the rim, it's like, all right, cool. Now you use your body, create that contact, start putting fear in defenders' eyes. He's like, look, when I come there, I'm going to get some contact. It's not like I'm going straight up and you have a equal advantage or equal chance opportunity. It's like, no, I'm creating contact and I'm going to get this foul, whether it goes in or not. And I think that once he realizes that he has to turn himself into that different player. And it's going to take some time. I think another year.
And that's the thing with me for Donovan Mitchell. He's not getting to the foul line a lot.
Yeah, that's what we
He's
talked about
averaging. He's getting to the line maybe 4 or 5 times a game. When I need him to get to the line,
that's
9 times,
one
10
shot
times.
a quarter. That's
You know what I mean?
That's a technical foul a quarter.
Exactly. But the thing is, his last 2 years, including this year, he's averaging 24. Like, ever since he came into the league, he's averaging 20.
Again.
But it's now for you to start averaging 28, 27.
Yeah.
But he
Up,
also
get in that upper echelon.
he also would need like an extra piece around him to average just as much numbers. As
He needs a shooter.
Yeah.
I
He
definitely
was
think
sure.
they need another piece.
Joe-
Like
Joe
everybody
Ingles
else,
is nice, but not like that.
Granted, he is, but he's only giving me 10.
You want to say he ain't nice
And
like
it's
that.
Everybody else, he's averaging the most points out of everybody on the entire Jazz squad.
Yeah.
Everybody else is doing under 19.
I mean, yeah, but you knew Gobert wasn't going to give you offense.
Of course.
You knew Joe Ingles was going to be a streaky dude. I think that if they had another scorer, they still got Clarkson?
Yeah.
He's
He's
averaged
all right.
second
But
most.
he's a streaky
alright.
dude, though.
He's definitely
He's
streaky.
streaky as hell.
But they got Bogdanovich.
Yeah.
Look, like I always tell you before, it's all about the threat of having somebody on the floor.
Exactly.
It's
So,
all like
Donovan is the main threat right now. So just how you said, he mostly drives. So as soon as they stop that, who's he gonna dish it out to? Okay,
Exactly.
all right.
But
yeah,
they
you're gonna
ain't-
miss, and then I'm gonna
But
get
they
the ball.
don't got that other dog though.
Yeah,
No, that's what I'm saying.
They
They need
don't-
another.
They
player.
need another key
They
piece.
they need another dog, and I don't think Utah has that, and I definitely don't think the Nuggets have that if Jamal Murray doesn't change his game. Like they have it with Jokic, but if Jamal Murray gives me Bubble Murray every playoffs, then I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, I'd rather
But
have
even
the
then,
playoffs. I'd rather
even
have the
then,
playoffs.
even then, it shouldn't take you 3-1 to do it.
No, I agree with that.
True.
To come back 3-1 twice, you're not going to keep coming back from 3-1.
Not a yeah.
Especially-
You showed that a
It's-
third
saw
round.
that.
Yeah, you're not going to keep doing it
You're
over
gonna
and
be
over.
exhausted. That's exactly what happened.
So-
That's why they went out in 5.
14 games versus playing 10 games is a lot harder.
A lot harder.
A lot harder.
Like they
So-
had a lot to come out.
Yeah.
So my thing is imagine them going down 3-1 again, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, it's time to turn it on," and you can't turn it on.
It's-
like
no,
you're-
it's a
that's the
slippery
first round
slope.
exit.
Consistency is definitely a big question mark, fan, and that's something I do agree with. But what we got is a guy that can put the ball in the basket,
But they
and
need
he
number
can
two.
do it at a high clip.
Of course. But
No,
they need a
of course,
number two.
yeah, they need number 2. I think a couple teams in the West need a number 2 in order for them to be
Definitely.
more. How could I put it?
Contending,
More competitive.
More of a threat.
Yeah, more of a
Yeah.
threat. You got
Yeah.
3 teams right now, maybe in the West, that have top 2 or like have a 1-2-3 or at least a dominant 1-2
Definitely
punch.
1-2 punch. Definitely.
And it's going to be interesting to see how Denver, how teams like Utah end up playing those guys. And because now, like if I look at the Lakers, they have a good 1-2 definitely. I think that any player on any night on that team could be a third for them. And to be honest with you, any player on that team could go off that night. And that may not be consistently. Like Kuzma might go off for 20 that night.
And the next day go off for 5.
That would
Exactly.
really hurt the team. if
No,
Kuzma goes
I-
for 20. Nah, because Kuzma
Disrespectful.
trash. But
You good, Kuz?
Yeah, nah, don't let him. Don't listen to him, Kuzma. You
Kuz.
hey,
good, man. Get your
Kuz,
buckets.
you see me? Don't say
The
nothing.
new Agent Zero.
Don't say nothing to me.
The
Kuz.
new Agent Zero.
Focus more
Chill
on the
out,
court
chill
instead
out.
of down your head.
Chill out. Don't disrespect
Wait,
Agent Zero
Wait,
like that.
please don't tell me he said the Kuz over Agent Zero.
He
Nah,
said
it's
no.
the
The
new
new
Agent
Agent
Zero.
Zero.
I guess
Anyway.
do we have to wrap it up early?
Like, come on, bro.
Nah,
But-
but I like Kuz. I think Caruso can give him good points. I think he's
I like
I like
Caruso.
Caruso.
he's a
Alex
playmaker.
Caruso.
That's the thing. He's a playmaker, not a
he
scorer.
just plays hard for
Great
me.
six man.
He just
Great
plays
six man.
hard for me.
He earned that game. Was it game 5, game 6 in the
Yeah.
finals? He earned that start.
Yes,
He
sir.
he plays
earned
hard.
There's a
He
reason
plays
why
hard.
LeBron kept
I like
him.
him.
Yeah.
I like
And
him.
he showed us why LeBron
Yeah.
kept him.
But
I think
but
Wesley
Kuzma,
Matthews go off.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
Look,
about Kuzma.
No,
bro.
what I'm saying is he can go off. Wesley can go off.
I know
think
what you mean,
that
but I just don't like Kuzma.
Trez, I think he can go off at 20, 22 on a good night and be like that dude and have his confidence up for a good 2 weeks. But he's a 15-point guy.
Yeah,
15
But
and
that's
8.
what you need from that bench.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. But any player on that night,
Can go off.
can go
Yeah.
off. And you
for
need
that third guy. Yeah,
if
I
you
know.
look at teams like, and you brought up last week, Portland, teams like Utah, teams like Denver, teams like even Phoenix, for real. Who's going to be that third guy? Kelly Oubre is not a 20-plus guy.
Nah.
He's a 15 to 18 point
unless
guy.
he gets his game together.
Maybe 15.
He's got to get a much more consistent jumper.
Maybe 15.
Maybe 15?
Maybe 15.
Yeah, that dude's athletic and he can get to the rim.
Yeah,
He's
but he
crafty
don't-
and he's explosive.
But
He
he
don't
don't really got a jump
Yeah,
shot.
he's just a high flyer right now.
He's
Like,
a
that's what he's doing.
He's not a jump
He's
shot.
getting dunks, making incredible blocks. He's
That's
looking
cool,
good.
but
He's a
you can't do that
3 and D
everywhere.
guy.
You can't
Yeah.
do that everywhere,
He's a
bro.
quintessential 3 and D guy that can just he can get to the rim. I mean that's all it is. Like he can D you up. He's good. He's quick. He's good on his feet. He can hit the 3 when he needs to,
Yeah.
but he ain't got no mid range. No low
Only
post game.
the only teams in the West that I could say got a real 1-2 punch that's solidified to me is the Lakers and the Clippers. I don't
see anyone
I
else.
don't
I
see
don't
the Clippers
really-
even having a third right now.
I don't know if they have a third, honestly.
I don't think so.
Lou Will. I'll put him as a third. Yeah.
I mean,
But
Lou Will for sure.
Okay,
Lou Will.
Okay,
Lou
but
Will.
Do you
Don't
remember,
sleep on Lou Will like
but
that.
do you remember?
Come on, don't sleep on
Is he a
Lou
20?
Will like
On
that.
who? On
He
who?
can explode.
He
can
dropped
explode.
like 6 points on the game they got eliminated.
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
They all,
What do you mean?
PG shot
6
the
points?
ball off the backboard. It
6
happens,
points?
bro. It happens.
6
It
points?
happens.
But he scored more than
It
6
happens.
points.
It happens.
He scored more than
It
6
happens.
points.
It happens.
No,
Look
bro.
at his average.
No, bro.
Look at his average. Does
Okay,
his
that's
average say
cool.
6 points?
That's
Lou
cool.
Williams,
Does his
Lou
average
Williams
say
been
six
doing it
points?
for a while.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
cool.
Lou Williams
But-
been doing it.
Exactly.
Hold on.
He's a bucket.
Exactly.
Him and
That's
Jamal
fine.
Crawford
That's
are
fine.
bucket getters.
That's fine.
Bucket getters.
But when I
Off the
needed
bench.
you the most, what did you do?
What did
That's
what did
cool.
Kawhi
Any
do?
of them do.
What did Paul George
No,
do?
What are you talking about?
No, bro.
So
no.
look, this is my thing. You
No.
can't blame the number 3 guy if you're 1 and 2 didn't do nothing.
Exactly.
Did I say
You
they
can't-
play perfect?
No, but you
Come on
can't
now.
you
Yeah.
can't blame that on Lou
He
Will.
he talking
Kawhi-
about Lou Will like
Come
Lou
on
Will
now.
was that guy that was supposed to be the hero of the game.
He's not
haven't-
supposed to be the
I haven't
hero, but
not-
I expected way more than 6 points.
I expected
my
Kawhi to
gosh.
have way more than whatever he had. He had what, 14?
Bro, come on now.
Maybe?
I know Kawhi wasn't doing
And
great
PG
either.
averaged 1 shot to the basket to the
That's
to the
my thing.
backboard.
None
on
of them
any
played
of the
great.
teams.
None of them played great. But if he's gonna be the third piece, come on, I'm gonna need you to do more
On
than I'm gonna
any
need you to
team,
work harder. I'm gonna need you
on
to work
any
harder.
team, Lou
Bro,
Williams has never
he-
been the guy.
Of
Not
course.
even in Philly. Not
Yeah.
He's
even.
not supposed to be the guy.
But he's that. But he's a score. He's a
an
bucket
X
getter.
factor. He is a player that is going to impact the game.
Him, Joe Johnson, and Jamal Crawford are my 3 bucket. I put them in a league of their own because they are bucket getters. No matter what age, what team they're on, they are bucket getters. You may not get much defensively from either 3 of those
They gonna
guys.
give you some buckets.
You remember Jamal Crawford in New York?
Bro, you ain't gotta
Jamal
talk
Crawford
about
in
that.
LA?
You ain't gotta talk about that.
Like,
Jamal Crawford.
Yeah,
like you remember
talking
Joe
about
Johnson?
But my thing is, Lou Will can be
Brooklyn
that
Joe
third guy.
Johnson, matter of fact.
Lou Will could be that third guy.
I agree. Nah, Lou Williams could be that guy.
I'm not gonna
So,
sleep on Lou
but-
Williams. I just want more out of him. Just how Shaq wants more out of Donovan, I want more out of Lou.
Bro, that's completely 2 different things to want more out of Lou Will and to want more out of Donovan. Donovan has a whole nother notch that he has to take his game to get his team over the hump. Lou Will is just like
But you
okay,
said
I'm
he's
giving
the third
you
piece.
19,
You
20
said he's
points
third
off the
piece.
bench.
Give me more.
To get 20 points off the bench from a player is a huge impact in itself. And then sometimes he finished the game for
The
you.
only 19 he's
that's
giving
what
you is
really
minutes. This man's giving you 8 points off the bench.
As of right now, you acting like he might not turn it up. I can
That's-
see if he's
that's
going to
what I'm
average
saying.
8 points
Literally,
the whole
I need
season.
more.
I
That's
know.
exactly what I'm
But
saying.
we've
Look at
known
his-
Lou Will to do
man,
that.
you-
We've
That's
known Lou
what I'm
Will to
saying.
do
You feel
that.
me?
Like Lou Will has always been that
I'm not
guy.
gonna disrespect Lou. I'm not.
But you
You
are though.
just-
But you are though. But you are
My
though.
point is, give me more. That's my point.
Okay.
Give me more.
Anyway, I don't
just
see
upset.
who else in the West has a 1-2 punch that's
Give me
consistent
more.
other than those two teams that I'll take.
Yeah.
Like
that's
even
about it.
even in Portland, like CJ is just too inconsistent for me.
This man just doesn't like CJ.
I
was about to say that.
him, but I just feel like he's so inconsistent.
He's not so inconsistent, but he is inconsistent. I'm not gonna say that he's like that inconsistent. Like he's gonna give you 20 one night and then he may not give you 20 again to next month type thing.
Nah,
But-
okay, nah, he's not that inconsistent,
What?
but he's not.
He's not a
Don't
20 a night guy.
disrespect CJ
He's
like
not.
that. Come on now.
Not
I mean,
yet.
he
he's too small
averages
right now.
he averages like 20 something, but the thing is if
He's-
they're gonna work,
Second fiddle, man. He is-
if they're gonna work just like how you want them to be that seed for you, he has to give me more. Now that's a player who has to give you more.
Yeah, and I would challenge CJ to give me more too. But he's doing fine right now. He's second best scorer on the team. of
He's
course.
always the second best.
We're talking
scorer.
about the second best player on the team versus the third scorer. Not the third best player, the third scorer
and
on the
he
team.
doesn't get that. He's
Like-
telling Lou Will to give him 25.
Lou Will is going to.
He wants Lou Will to give him 25.
It's not going to happen every night. It's all right.
30.
He's in his, what, 17th year as well?
Yeah,
Hey.
he's up there. He is up there, and he's still giving young guys a fix.
Still giving to him, man.
Like he's always gonna be that bucket getter that you need on your team. You need a Lou Will on your team,
Yeah, just a
Like-
straight bucket getter. Straight bucket
and that's
getter.
all you need him to do. Just
I
go out
agree.
there, play your game, then come back.
Yeah, speaking of playing your game, though, right? So, Steph Curry, we all know how he really brought into another generation of the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With his
Changed the
shooting
game.
and
He definitely changed the game.
now, I mean, I ain't gonna hold you. When I was young, I used to go on the basketball court and I played basketball.
You play
And
basketball?
I did. I was pretty
Okay.
good back then.
All right.
And I would go straight to.
He was definitely on his my career.
I didn't have my career till 2010, till 2K10.
Put it on
The
rookie.
face activate.
Put it on rookie, averaging 40.
I was averaging 60 first football skate.
And then
We're talking about-
about 20.
8-minute quarters. I need time. I need time to get into this, right?
Nah, not the 8 quarters.
But no,
I
I
never
mean,
lost a game.
I
I just ran out of time.
Hey, nah,
Hey,
that
dog,
Jordan
that's
quote
the
was
goal,
crazy.
man. All right, look, all I'm gonna say is this: when you on the basketball court when you were younger, you didn't just automatically pull up from three.
Nah.
That wasn't you go on the basketball court. You didn't just start shooting from half court
Nah.
type thing. Nah,
Main thing was the drive.
Steph made that. Like you saw LeBron driving and dunking on people. You saw Paul Pierce. I mean, Paul Pierce was even a great scorer. I mean, like he wasn't a no dominant, driving guy, but he was a good mid-range guy. He was a good shooter,
Great shooter. Great
but
shooter.
not like Steph Curry. Steph Curry.
is in his own kind.
Different league, man.
Steph
Different
is on
league.
kind.
The
And,
greatest shooter of all time.
Literally.
hey, congratulations to Steph, man.
Yeah,
Passing
definitely
Reggie Miller,
congratulations to
second
Steph.
all time.
Gonna
Congratulations.
finish number
man.
one,
I
and it's
can't-
gonna be a while
yeah.
before we see another one.
I mean,
It's gonna be a while.
he's about 400 behind right now.
411.
411, so it's a season
But
and a
he's
half.
probably
and he has
gonna- he's-
way less games.
A season
Yeah,
and a
it's like
half.
1,500
Way
games.
less games.
A season and a half.
I think he might get it.
He ain't gonna get
Might.
400 this year.
Might?
I don't know.
400?
Yeah, this year.
How many? What's his most amount of threes that he's made
I
in a
think he might
season?
get it.
In the season, I think he's made like 329.
This season?
No, I'm talking about period.
I'm just saying this season though, he might get it.
His peak season, which was 2015.
Bro, his peak season compared to the team he has playing with him right now, he
It's
might get it.
400 though.
67.
411 more threes.
I wouldn't be surprised if he get it.
Okay. I just want to know, like, what was the
I
most that he
wouldn't be
hit in a
surprised if
season?
he
I
did
think it was around 350. I think that was the record because he beat Ray Allen
He
for the single
definitely,
season
yeah,
record.
he it was
Maybe
somewhere in
400.
the 300s.
Maybe 400.
But I just wouldn't be
400
surprised
more?
if he got it.
But 400 more. So I'm
This season? Hey, sky's the limit in Golden State. The way their team looking, they only got Steph. So
Nah, for real though.
like,
Wiseman's gonna come into his own.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna come into his
I
own.
like
I think
like
3
him.
years from now.
I like him for sure.
3 years,
But
he's gonna be that
for
guy.
me,
He can be like a Christian Woods.
Right now, is you play through stuff, you live and die by stuff.
402.
402.
Hold on, but that's
What's
in a
his peak
total
season?
season. Total
In
season.
one season.
So I'm talking about we're 20% of the way through,
Wow.
and he has gonna make another 411 to tie it or to win.
I have that type of faith in
He's
stuff.
he's gonna be number one.
Yeah, I
He's
just
gonna
said
be
a
number one.
season and a half. Like next year, he's gonna get it.
I think he could get it
And
this.
he's gonna get it in Indiana
special.
next year. The NBA is gonna work that out. He's gonna get it in Indiana.
Okay. If he gets it this season, just know who called it.
Oh, I'm gonna give it to you.
Just
Next
know who
season.
called it.
I give it to you.
Yeah, next season.
I just want to let y'all know.
But you ain't get it this year.
That boy is the greatest shooter to ever walk on the court.
Ever. So let's change pace.
You know my opinion, but we'll
Let's
talk
go
about it.
from basketball to football.
Yeah.
Haskins to the Steelers, baby.
I don't know what that's gonna do.
I'm gonna let y'all talk, and then I'm gonna give my
I don't know
point.
what that's gonna
I'm gonna let y'all do it. I'm
My
gonna
man
tell you
went to
my
the
opinion.
strip club with no face mask, no nothing.
Man,
do. I don't know what that's gonna do.
thing is, man,
They just need a backup because you know Big Ben's really about to be out the door.
but there's so you could have got Colin Kaepernick. You could have got
First of all, we ain't gonna talk about Colin. They're not
No,
gonna
what I'm
make
saying
it.
is that they were better available quarterbacks
Of course.
than Dwayne. So this is my thing with Dwayne
I
Haskins,
mean,
right?
I guess because Dwayne Haskins is still young
But this is the thing, though.
and he has time to
Trash.
mold.
But this is the
But
problem,
you
though.
can mold him.
But this is the problem.
Especially
You can
with
mold
a
him
great
on the
coach.
field, but his mindset is the problem. So he broke team protocol more than enough times to be cut in the middle of the year. More than enough. Then he broke COVID NFL protocol.
Sounds
So-
like Demarcus Russell too.
Plus, and I was gonna get to this later. He comes from Ohio State. Ohio State does not have a good history
What bringing
With quarterback.
quarterbacks
into
to
the
the
league.
league.
They don't. I mean, personally, I think Urban Meyer doesn't, but I'm just gonna leave it at Ohio State because I think the only good quarterback Urban Meyer ever coached was Alex Smith.
Okay.
Other than that, J.T. Barrett, Cordell Patterson, Tim Tebow, Braxton
just-
Miller,
they never
Cardell, like those guys
transition
never
well.
transition. They always have study issues. They always have discipline issues. They always have they need to be babied. Like they could never make Braxton
Nobody
Miller.
has time for that.
I think Braxton Miller
Yeah,
may have
especially
had
with
the
Bill
no.
Belichick.
Terrell Pryor has had the longest career. Braxton Miller was close. He had 3 years with the Texans, and he played receiver. He had to switch positions. Terrell Pryor did too.
Yeah, he
And
did.
he's been in the league 6 years, 6 or 7.
Terrell, is he still in?
no,
He last time I think he played last year with
not.
the Jets or something like
he's
that.
not
But
in no more.
The thing is, they don't have a good history with quarterbacks. So now that questions me with Justin Fields,
Fields.
but it's a different coach. I think Ryan Day, he has a better hold on his guys and they teach them a little bit different. But I don't think it's because you're handing Haskins the keys at this point. You saw what Big Ben did last year. He's in his decline.
Yeah.
Another year, maybe half a season for real, be like, I ain't got it no more. I don't it's predictable. It's and then it's gonna be like, all right, cool. Now I gotta put him in. And if you trust Haskins like that,
I don't know
Respect to you, but I'm based off what I've seen.
Yeah.
The guy played 16 games in 2 seasons. He threw 14 interceptions and only 12 touchdowns.
Yeah. Bro.
I'm not too
The-
I'm not
the
too
guy-
upset with that though.
The guy is terrible.
I'm not too upset at that.
The Steelers aren't really.
I am
sold
upset
on
because
him.
you don't just pick up a guy like Haskins and give him the keys to your Bentley.
They're not.
I know, which
He's
is
on
why
a one-year
he didn't
contract.
start. But he didn't start first
He's on
right
a
out. Like
one-year contract.
we knew Alex Smith was going to be the starter when he
But-
came in.
But
Yeah.
why?
So
even
it wasn't
sign him
like
for
he
1
came
year,
as a
though?
backup because it's a prove it deal.
You need to check him out though.
Yeah, you got- it's his mindset.
Sometimes,
That's what it was.
Sometimes Washington has a reputation of not having the best front office, and they have good talent on the team, but don't know how to utilize them well.
Out of all the players that you picked this guy.
I guess
So-
that's what I put. So again, I think that coming out of college, and you can only make a decision based on what you've seen. So not his first year, but his last year when he beat out Joe Burrow for the quarterback position at Ohio State, and he threw about 55 touchdowns. I think he set the Big Ten single season record for passing yards and touchdowns in the same year. He had a
great college
good team
career.
around him.
Yeah, he had a great
So the
college
thing
career.
is,
college
I
quarterbacks.
didn't disagree with them taking him. But the thing is, now that you see, okay, this dude got some study issues. He has discipline issues. Mentally, he's not a professional yet. It's like, all right, cool. Do you still want to take a chance on picking that guy up to possibly hand him the keys to your Bugatti? Like, this is the Steelers we're talking about.
So yeah, so I'm not blaming the
the
Redskins
Colts.
of what I,
What?
I'm not blaming the Redskins for picking him up for what he did in college.
Yeah.
I'm blaming the Steelers for picking him up after what they seen the last 2 seasons. And to still see that he is the same guy and he might change for the betterment of your organization. You really put that much faith into him?
You putting faith in your quarterback's coach. That's what you putting faith into. Your quarterback's coach is Mike Tomlin.
So if this doesn't work out, who gets fired?
The quarterback's coach.
Not Mike. Not Mike Tomlin.
Quarterback coach. The only way Mike Tomlin gets fired is if that defense doesn't do well, if they don't make the playoffs, and somebody has like to have like a 5-11 season. Like you got to be like bad.
So let's talk about it. Y'all just said
went to the playoff was when Ben went down. That's the only time they.
So y'all just said Ben is declining.
Damn,
that's one.
He's got to be out the door.
You just said you give him a season or half a season,
Mm-hmm.
and then guess who you're turning it over if you give him a half a season?
Exactly.
Haskins. So who gets fired because Haskins is not taking him to the playoffs?
QB coach.
Haskins is not taking them to the playoffs.
They will fire the offensive
I don't care what
coordinator.
y'all say. If Haskins take them to the playoffs, bro, I'll take both of y'all to dinner.
But why?
Haskins not taking them to the playoffs.
I ain't even worried about that. But
He's not though. But why fire the QB coach after one season with Haskins?
Because
after seeing how undisciplined he is.
Because who told them to pick him up? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Too, but the thing
that
is
comes
this.
down to the owner, the GM, and the head coach.
No, not all the time. So the head coach
picking
don't
players?
the whole time. Well, yeah, the GM, I get that. But the thing about Mike Tomlin is that he would only be looked at if the whole team did bad.
Yeah,
He would.
If it's just
his job is safe.
that's what I'm saying. So if it's just the quarterback and he's not, because you have the pieces.
Yeah.
You had the pieces. You were 11-0 at one point. You have the pieces to at least secure a playoff spot. So the point is, all right, cool. Now the only instability that you have is that quarterback position. So now, if you see, all right, cool, he's messing up, he's missing the throws and such, it's easier to narrow it down. It's the QB coach and the offensive coordinator. Like, you got to be able to run an offense that's capable for him to work in it, but you also have to call plays
That's going to be successful.
that's going to be successful. So,
But if you call in these plays and nothing's working, then that means it's not the coach's fault.
not all the time. Well, it is. Unless he has the option, like Big Ben had this year, of changing the play. Not all quarterbacks have that opportunity.
And I'm not giving Haskins that.
Not everybody quarterback can
Right.
do
So
that.
this is the thing. Now, if the plays
Haskins.
weren't working, and you knew that Haskins was not changing the play, then yes, you fired off as a coordinator. But if you see that play was there, that defender was, it was a wide open throw. You just missed it, or you just throwing passes in the dirt. I'm cutting them. It's all about how it unfolds. Like, is it gonna unfold in the film
Very
room?
true.
It's gonna be like, okay, I can't recognize a cover 2 defense because or I can't recognize this cover 3 when they got too high. Like, it's simple stuff which he wasn't getting in Washington. So I think that he's got a lot of maturing to do, but it's a purely mental one. I think he has physical talent, but mentally, yeah, dude, he got some growing up to do, off the field and on the field. I mean, y'all saw his first win as a quarterback. He was in the stands taking selfies.
Yeah.
Like,
He's not disciplined.
bruh, the clock ain't hit 000 yet. The game ain't over. No matter if it's 1 second on the clock, the game is not over.
Doesn't
I'm
matter
sorry.
until the clock says 0.
Right, and he's in the stand. I think it was like 10 seconds left, 15 seconds left, and they was about to take a knee. And it was like, I get it. You young, you hungry.
He's vibrant.
Yeah, he's electric. But at the same time, you gotta know when to turn that on, when to turn it off. You turn it off. You turn it on after the clock hit 000. You turn it off when that clock says 15 minutes first quarter, or when you get in that locker room. So I think that his mentality with that is just gonna have to change, and it's gonna be interesting to see how the Steelers' way, their ideology and their philosophies, how that makes an imprint on him, and I'm eager to see that.
Okay, so if he doesn't change, you think he gets cut or somebody gets fired?
I would.
Because honestly, I don't
I would
think
cut him.
I don't think it's going to work at all. Like,
I would
I
cut
have
him
zero faith
It's a 1-year
in
deal.
what happens.
It's a 1-year deal, so at this point, I mean, it's a prove it deal. If you ain't proving it, I'm cutting you. If it
But
was a
at the
4-year deal, it's a big difference.
But at the same time, this is a year that you're just pissing away. And how many
be.
years can you piss away?
Could be.
Especially with the talent that you have. If you start off 11-0, You feel me? Like I
think
understand you. It's not like how Juju he's doing his TikTok and whatever like that. This is
But
Dwayne
Juju can back
Haskins.
it up, though.
Yeah, you feel me?
Juju can
I
back it
never
up.
seen
But he didn't,
Dwayne
though.
Haskins
Only
do
in the
what
playoffs.
he
That was the
do.
only time he didn't
You
do
feel
that.
me?
Look, we could talk about Juju in a second, but I understand what you're saying. I get it. I'm eager to see what's gonna happen.
And then
I mean,
if that doesn't work, who is your third?
Mason, the one that
I can't just say with a straight face.
So
Mason
that's what
Rudolph.
I'm saying.
No, they're going to draft somebody. They're going to
Of
draft
course.
somebody. So
Of course.
I think they're in the 20s this year in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the third quarterback they're going to have to get. Would that be the third quarterback on the board, maybe? Maybe
lot of
four?
teams in
Yeah.
the top 15 need a quarterback.
Because Jacksonville need one.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? I think San Francisco need one.
Mm-hmm.
Giant. I don't know what he said. P.S. Speak up.
The Jets need a quarterback.
I was
The
gonna
Jets,
say the Jets.
they got the
I was
number
gonna say
2
the
pick.
Jets.
I don't look. Deshaun Watson go to the Jets, they're not picking a quarterback.
I don't know about that yet. Let's
If
not.
they-
We gonna say that later on. We gonna.
Deshaun
Well,
say
yeah,
that
I'm gonna get into
later
that.
on.
But just talking about that,
Deshaun
like,
Watson to the Colts.
but they don't need a
Yes, I can
quarterback
dream.
if they're going to trade for him.
Yeah,
so
But
I want to
they're
see how
going
that
for
plays
Stafford.
out.
They're going for Stafford.
Stafford,
Matthew Stafford, yeah, they're probably going to go for Matthew
Stafford better
to the
go.
Colts.
He better go to the Eagles. I'm sorry.
Eagles?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
He's a throwing quarterback, dude.
but they have Jalen Hurts, and he's
I like
doing
Carson
well.
Wentz
Yeah.
on the Colts.
Yeah, he's going to the Colts.
They're
like
looking
Carson
at
Wentz
him.
Stafford.
They're looking at him, but they're mostly going for Stafford.
I like Stafford
Stafford's
on
a
the Eagles,
good.
though.
I don't think
Yeah.
Stafford. I don't think Stafford on the Colts is a.
Is
That's a
I mean,
great-
talk to the front office.
I don't think it's a great option.
But
I like Carson
There's a
Wentz.
whole
It's
bunch of
interesting.
other
On the Colts.
quarterback markets that can go to the Colts.
I don't
I
watch the
like
Eagles.
Wentz. Me personally, I want Watson.
You're not
I-
getting Watson though.
I know, but I want him because he could throw and he could run. And with the way our offensive line has actually improved over the last couple of years, you need to fix your face because what I'm saying isn't false.
I'm so interested right now.
What I'm saying isn't false. Our
Go ahead.
offensive line has improved. Watson has been getting sacked at least 50 times these last few seasons. Right or wrong?
How many years you think T.Y. Hilton got left? He gonna end up like Mega. I think he gonna end up like Megatron and be like retire early because he be like, bro, this is a waste of time.
Not really, because
I don't
we've
think
been to the
I don't
playoffs.
think he's going to
We've
retire
been to the
early.
playoffs.
I don't
You
think
can
he's gonna
get
retire
there.
Been to the
early.
playoffs.
But the
don't
thing
think
is,
he's gonna
like,
retire
you're
early,
not
though.
going nowhere. They
Because
haven't
we
built a
haven't
team.
had a steady quarterback.
It's not even about the quarterback. It's about the
That's a good thing.
GM.
This is not my team, bro.
It's the
Bro,
GM, bro.
We're not gonna talk
Chris
about my
Ballard
team.
has done way better than Ryan Gershom, and we're not gonna get into that because oh my gosh, bro.
I'm getting into that. What I'm telling you is this. I'm getting into it. What I'm telling you is this. They have yet. I don't think they've built a team.
We're not completely there
You
yet
pick players.
in the AFC.
You pick players. You don't pick
We're
a
not
team.
completely there yet in the AFC, but
How many
we're
years-
knocking on the door.
How many years
What-
you think
what
Deshaun
doing?
Watson is going to like sign
doing
to
y'all
y'all
knocking
for? You
on?
think he'll sign for a 5-year deal with a team that doesn't build around itself?
We have way more weapons than.
Do you think that
Texans.
team is going
That's true,
to?
though.
He's not going back to the Texans. I'm not thinking about the
hit to
Texans.
that.
Uh-huh.
My question is, do you
He
think
ain't
he's
going
going to?
back.
Do you think he's
I
going to
ain't going
sign a
back.
4 or 5 year deal with a team that has yet to really build itself? They've been
So,
how long is it-
but why would you go to the Jets though?
Yeah.
Why would
'Cause
you
new
want to go to
coach.
the Jets?
new coach Saleh. He wants to play for Saleh.
I understand that.
And
but
plus,
what
they have a
pieces-
team.
What pieces is around him if he goes to the Jets?
As far as like receivers and all that stuff.
Receivers, anybody.
Jamison Crowder,
Defense,
Crowder,
give
the
him-
defense is not bad. It's not bad,
And
but
you know, Saleh was the defensive
yeah,
coordinator.
he's
in the 49ers.
going to
He
be
can
he's
fix
going
it.
to get that
He can
defense.
fix it.
Now,
But
the
how
players
long?
And he
themselves-
already said he's not doing the play calling either.
So he's gonna be up there. Yeah.
So,
So come on now.
what players is
Come
around
on,
him
we have
for him to
way
throw the
better
ball?
What I'm saying
and
is
then
this.
who's like what do you think their defense is going to be?
I can't tell
be
you
able
what
to
his
do.
thinking is going into New York. All I can tell you is
Okay.
that that's his decision.
Okay.
What I can tell you about why it's not Indianapolis is because they have yet to build. I just don't.
His-
Past few years, they have not built.
Anything.
They've picked good players, but they don't pick great players that's going to work well together.
Mm-hmm.
That's my problem.
Mhm.
Yeah, we talked about your DBs before
Mhm.
the podcast. Defense isn't always working together. I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry.
That's what I'm saying. Granted, the defense is not entirely there, but for us to go from 31 to 17 to actually top 10 in the league,
Mhm.
we have done way better, and we have so much to go.
Mhm.
Okay.
Come on now.
Mhm.
Okay. Talk
Okay,
to
no,
me.
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Mhm.
That's fine. That's fine.
But I ain't gonna lie.
That's
what-
fine.
what-
That's fine.
what-
Stay on that side and not believing, because when we make it, we're gonna remember today.
Without Deshaun Watson, but all right.
That's fine. That's fine if we make it without Deshaun Watson. Point is, we made it.
So let's go back to these
Man.
Ohio State quarterbacks.
Oh, here we go.
And
Carson
Urban
Wentz.
Myers.
That's cool.
How do y'all think Urban Myers is going to fare making that transition to the NFL? He was great. He was great in college, but I don't know how his transition to the NFL, because it's a different game.
His
It's
first
a
one
different
didn't go
ball
well.
game.
I don't think his
completely.
first one went well.
So
So
I mean, we just got to see how everything's gonna turn out too, especially because he's with the Jags. That's not really a great team.
They're on a rebuild. They traded
They're-
away
they're
their
on a
top 2
rebuild.
players, and they don't have a
Fournette.
quarterback. And Nicaragua, Yannick.
Ramsey.
Ramsey,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I forgot
yeah.
about Ramsey. Ramsey
Yeah.
was 2 years ago.
yeah,
Calais Campbell, he's
Yeah,
gone.
yeah.
that's a lot of pieces gone.
I think Tevin Smith is still there though.
Yeah.
He's the only
Like
one
you
still
said,
there. But
no
it's
quarterback,
gonna
no
take
quarterback,
time.
running back,
Yeah,
no
It's
So-
gonna
defense.
take time.
So-
So how long do you think that's gonna
Yeah,
take?
so
he
how
signed
long?
for like 5 years, something like that, 4 or 5 years.
So,
So,
do
look,
y'all think he is capable of building a team in Jacksonville?
Possibly,
Look.
because some
Like I said, college is different
coaches
than
and
than,
players
than,
they
than
can,
the NFL.
they can
Not
coaches and players can excel at the collegiate level, but
Yeah.
take them to the professional level.
Saban.
It's a different ball game.
Yeah.
Nick Saban
So
did
we
not
just
work,
gotta see
work
it.
well in the
Michael,
NFL.
yeah.
Just got to see how it's gonna work. I'm gonna see his first year, and whatever happens
I'm
from there.
I'm not counting his first year.
got to though.
Yeah, you have to, because you
I
have to
don't
see.
know. I can't count.
It's a
his
base.
first
It's a
You
base.
have to
It's
see
a
what
base.
he's gonna do with the pieces that they have,
I don't-
and then the first year is literally a trial year.
I don't think his base is going to even be built in the first year, though.
No,
I think his
It's a
base is
trial.
not going to come until his
It's literally a
second
trial.
year.
You guys,
Yeah.
let's see how many draft picks he got this year.
They should have quite a few.
I think they got like 2 for Ramsey from the Rams.
But my thing is, like, their base, as far as, like, his base the first year, I don't know. I just really wouldn't think
it's
he
supposed
has
to be a
base the first
trial
His
year.
second
He's
year,
gonna see his
his
talent
second
on
year,
the
I feel
team.
like he should have.
They have
his base.
11 picks.
That's what I'm saying. They have quite a few picks.
Yeah.
11,
But
freaking in the first
It's a
overall.
trial.
but
It's a
I
trial.
feel like that
Trevor
second
Lawrence.
year is
They're
the
getting
one
Trevor Lawrence.
that you really should look at.
Yeah.
The-
First
the
year
second
is
year
like
is
I'm
the-
saying.
is the
First
year
year
you
is the
should look at.
trial.
Trevor staying in
See what
college.
he has and see what he's gonna do. That's how you're gonna pick out who's gonna stay and who's gonna leave.
They're getting.
So come second year,
getting Fields.
okay, maybe they
No,
might
because
get Fields.
if
Maybe.
I'm Trevor, I'm not
Maybe.
coming out this year. I have a whole nother
He
year.
already
He's
declared.
he's coming.
But
out.
that's the thing. Like, if I was Trevor, I wouldn't have came out knowing that Jacksonville was number 1. No, I wouldn't do that. I think he decided that when the Jets were number 1.
Yeah, the Jets were supposed to be number one.
That was
and then they
different.
won.
Yeah, they won 2 games.
So why wouldn't you go to Jacksonville and they
I-
having a new coach and a new system?
And-
Well, if you're Trevor Lawrence, what are you thinking right now?
I think Jacksonville is where careers go to die. Jacksonville, Cleveland. There's certain
okay,
places where it's like
if-
careers, like you
even-
go there and it's just like the front office is still there.
Even
I mean, like the owners, like everything is still there. I just don't think the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, even with their receivers, they're not putting nothing around them. They don't have a good running back. Their line is decimated. I just think that he's a smaller dude, tall, not necessarily a thicker dude. He's strong, but he's not a.
He's not well built.
Yes.
he
He's
would
not
still have
built to take those type of hits game after game in the AFC South.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right,
Well, actually, no,
you gotta play JJ Watt. You
Our
gotta
division-
play.
Our division is not that easy.
Yeah, it's
The
going
only
to be
team
interesting.
that's
That division
easy.
is alright.
The only team that's easy in that division is the Jags.
And right now,
Got
so
the Colts, got the Texans, Titans,
That's-
and Jags.
and Titans, that
You
defense is nice.
cannot, and I put emphasis on not sleep on the Titans.
No, not
You can't.
can sleep on the past 3 years. The
The
thing is, but I think if I was I think they would probably go just Fields because he's more mobile. He's
I
able to
understand
get
that.
outside the
Hell no.
pocket, and with that,
I'm
that's
not, I'm not, I'm
but
not
if I
going
was
Ohio
Trevor-
State quarterbacks.
If I
No,
was
but it's
Trevor
different,
Lawrence,
coach.
bro, if I was
But-
Trevor Lawrence, if you sent me to the Jags and I actually have this God-given talent, I'm gonna stand out and get granted. all
And
right,
get
fine,
hit.
Fine, okay. All right, well, that's the point. That's the point of the game. Everybody gonna get hit.
Not,
Yeah,
not
but
like how,
gonna get-
not
he's
like
gonna
how
get
players
hit.
going
Not
to
a
get.
lot. Not a
Time
lot.
out,
I
time
understand that. I understand
I'm
that.
coming
Because getting
for
hit
your
50
head.
times is not the best.
He's
It's
going to
not.
get hit like how
Oh.
Joe Burrow got hit, and Joe
With that
Burrow was
concussion.
taking some hits this year.
Yeah.
He was hanging in there. He was delivering that pill, but I'm just saying.
If I
He's
literally
going to
have
get
this
hit.
God-given talent and I can move the ball down the field, I can use my legs. Somebody out of these 31 out of these 32 teams is gonna notice me, and then they're gonna ask for me.
you can't do that if you hurt though.
Yeah. You can't.
Can't do that if you got a bruised sternum. Can't do that if you got a broken collarbone or a bruised clavicle. Like, I don't wish injury upon anybody.
Y'all saying that, like, this offensive line is going to make this man die.
No, what I'm saying is that...
Like, he's going to die. Like, he can't survive. Like,
he needs an offensive line. He needs an offensive line. He needs 5 big people in front of him to guard him. Like, no, but I didn't think so. That's why I said I wouldn't pick him.
Come on.
I don't think he should
So
go there.
regardless, this man is putting himself in fire.
Why do you think I say I would stay in another year?
Well, he already
That's
declared.
what I said.
But either way, you're going.
That's like he did that before the season was over.
I just feel like you're gonna end up.
lying.
You're gonna end up going to a team who needs a quarterback and who doesn't have an offensive line, regardless.
That's the problem of being a number 1
So that's
pick,
what I'm saying.
especially
You're
as a
gonna have
quarterback.
to utilize your God-given talent,
Which is
if you
why-
have it, to perform at a professional
Which is why
level,
I
to
think
stand out.
Justin Fields and his mobility is better for that team. That's the only reason why I'm saying that.
I mean, but just
The
how,
Jets' offensive line is different than the Jags.
I'm still not
Sam
picking
Darnold's just not a good quarterback.
Just how Washington relied on RG3 for his mobility.
And he got hurt.
Eh,
He got hurt.
Come on now.
they didn't
got hurt.
rely on
Come
him.
on
That
now.
was just the offense,
I'm
dude.
just
He
letting
could throw
you
that
Come
ball.
on now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he could throw
He
it.
could throw. He
But
could run.
after he got
could
hurt,
play.
he's
as
never
many
been the
times
same.
he kept
Because
doing
he couldn't
that,
plant.
bro.
He couldn't plant. That's all.
He couldn't slide to save his life.
He never
literally almost
slid.
killed him.
He never slid because he was always faster than everybody. I mean, what's
Like, come on now.
what-
So you got to use your talent.
You
So
gotta
regardless,
understand, people are
What I'm
he's
saying
gonna
is
go
this.
to a team where he's gonna get hit.
Yeah, he's
I'm
gonna
not
get hit.
saying
It is
that.
literally
I think he's gonna get hit
inevitable.
regardless.
Which is
It's
why I'm
inevitable.
saying I would play the odds and be like, cool, I'm gonna sit out or I'm gonna go back to college for another year and be like, all right, cool, I'll go to a
But-
team that might have a better offensive line
Would there
next year.
really be a team with a?
There's
at
some
least a
good
decent-
offensive
a decent
lines that
athlete?
have shitty quarterbacks.
Can you name them?
The Jets have shitty quarterbacks. Sam Darnold
But
is
you
not a
just said
good
the
quarterback.
offensive line isn't that great.
Yeah, isn't great, but they still have 5 good people. It's rather than having 2 or 3 good people
Sam
and your
Darnold
left
isn't-
tackle is horrible and that's your blind side. Like, that's horrible. So I would rather have 5 good guys. Not great. 5 good guys. Maybe a tight end that can help stay in the block. But Jags don't have that. They got a draft.
They
fund.
don't have none of it.
They don't have anything right now.
But whoever they draft at quarterback, they're gonna have to deal with that.
Again,
Regardless,
which is why I said, look,
you are you're literally
It's
a top 10 quarterback talent, so you're
Yeah.
gonna go that early. So
That's the
you literally
play.
have that risk,
That's
no
the
matter
play.
what.
Yeah,
You have
that's the
that
play.
risk.
But I
Literally.
this same
And
look,
The price you pay being number one.
That's what I'm
as a
saying.
Colts fan, even as a Colts fan, our offensive line was straight doo doo. That's why Andrew Luck had to retire early. When he went down with that shoulder injury, Jacoby Brissett got sacked 58 times. Like,
I
that
agree with
offensive
you.
line needed huge work. That's why literally we
I
had to
agree
draft
with you.
him at number 1.
I agree with you.
So it's like, come
I'm
on.
not
So
I'm not disagreeing with you.
it's literally
But
something like you can't escape from. You can't escape from it.
Look, Andrew Luck still had. I think
He
he
still
was
had
a
a
better
lot of years,
athlete than Trevor Lawrence was.
I give him
I
that.
give him that.
Coming out of Andrew Luck was
I give him that.
seeing him at
We
Stanford.
was 2-14
Yeah.
the year before, and then we went to 11-5.
I said seeing him at Stanford versus
Yeah, come on.
that
And-
Pac-12, he was killing it. So and he could run. So I think
Yeah,
about
within
Trevor
2
Lawrence,
years,
he
he
could
got to
run,
the
but
AFC
not like he's gonna have to in order to be down in Jackson. That's what I'm saying. He
Yeah.
can run, and you saw that, and I think the national championship game, you saw that 2 years ago in the playoffs. Like the boy can play.
Yeah.
But then let's talk about the people that he's playing against, the ACC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Name the top teams in the ACC: Clemson, Miami.
Clemson again.
Yeah.
You
The
got
conference
you
was
got
wild.
Virginia Tech in there, Wake Forest, Virginia, Florida State. Like
Yeah.
it's people in that conference, but he's running
It's
through
not
them.
really much of a threat.
Yeah,
If
so
he was in the
And
SEC.
they- yeah, it's not the SEC. We
If
ain't
he
gonna
was
talk
in
about
the
that. That's a
SEC,
different
then
monster
it's
right there. That's a different monster
my
right there,
thing is
boy.
this: like he wasn't even getting hit in college. He wasn't. So he gonna come to the league,
And get that welcome to the league hit.
and exactly, and
But
that's going to be
everybody who
interesting for him.
comes to the league
Is
that
gonna
plays
get that.
offense get that welcome to the league.
That's inevitable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
his
his
body
line.
though. That's my thing is his body.
He's gonna
That's
have to
all.
get bigger.
He,
'Cause,
he
he's
definitely
a
got to
little
put some
swanky.
muscle on.
Yeah.
him.
Now
But-
it's gonna be interesting to see how big a quarterback. He's 6'5". He's going. Is he gonna end up like Big Ben? That big, or like does he need to put on that much weight? Because Big Ben, he get hit, he get right back up. They bounce right off him. Damn near. So I'm like, does he need to be that big, or can he be a taller Russell Wilson, or a taller? How can I put it?
I like
A little bit bigger Phillip Rivers, like when a young Phillip.
I
He
like
was
a
insane.
taller Russell Wilson. I think if he gets that body type, he'll be fine.
That'd be interesting.
I think he'll be fine. I don't think he needs to put on that little extra like Big Ben. I mean, Big Ben kind of needed that. He's not as mobile and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's not. He's slow.
He's going to take some
I know.
more hits.
He's gonna have to use his leg.
But he's going to have to bulk up.
No, he's gonna have to bulk up. He's gonna have to bulk up regardless if he comes out the league next year or this year.
Yeah, but the thing is, the possibility of going to a different team that might have a little bit more stability next year. That's the only thing. Plus, get another national championship or at least compete for another one.
I'm not trying to see him back just to lose the SEC team again.
I don't see that, but I think that he
needs to come out. It's time.
It's time for him. But I think that with this team, it's just like, I might have to go back for a year. I don't know.
Okay,
That's all I'm saying. But we've been talking too long about this. Let's move on.
Let's fast forward to the Eagles and their head coaching job, Nick Sirianni. What y'all think about the guy? Because I honestly don't know. He was somebody offensive coordinator. He was somebody offensive coordinator.
Yes, he did well with us.
Yeah.
So I do like that. I like how the Eagles chose him. Because he was a huge factor to the turnaround that we had from 2017 and going to 2018. So it was like, okay, because
What happened in 2019?
2019, we had Jacoby Brissett as quarterback.
Bunch of malarkey. That's what it was.
It's not that great,
This
bro.
is a little
Like,
barnacle.
Come on now. Come on now. Like, I don't know what you expect. It's
Okay,
a
you're
whole
saying like
team
Jacoby
sport.
Brissett wasn't an actual decent quarterback.
He had 2 playing seasons for us. You want to know how many games?
Look,
No,
man, this
no.
man
Wait,
sat
wait,
behind
wait,
the
wait,
GOAT,
wait,
man. I
wait,
ain't worried about
okay.
it.
Wait, do you know how many games he won for us in those 2 seasons?
Not a
Talk
lot.
to me.
9.
That's cool.
Out of how many?
Out of what? What's 16 plus 16? 32.
32.
9 games out of 32.
Your team sucks. I told you that.
It was
I told you
Jacoby
that.
Brissett. So okay, hold on. My
Zach
team sucks.
Pascal,
But then the
with
next
Eric
year-
Ebron,
the
Zach
next
Ebron.
year we go 11-5. But,
Yeah.
but we're trash.
Oh yeah, you can progress from year to year. I
Come
can't
on
say
now.
that. We last year we was what 5-11. This year was 7-9. That's what I'm saying. We can
You had a
progress.
losing record
We made it to the playoffs. I don't
because
care.
your division is doo-doo.
Hey, look, it's not a question about the NFCs right now. Look,
How
the fact.
do y'all think Nick Sirianni is gonna fare up in the Eagles?
That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that
That's
teams
what
can
I'm
progress.
He will
Bro.
do well.
I don't know.
He's gonna do well. Like I said, with Nick
Play style.
Saban, first year is always the trial year.
Play style.
See how it's gonna be, and then the second year, and then we're gonna see
So let me
are
ask
you
you a
really
question.
head coach material?
How would you categorize his play style, his coaching style, or his play calling style?
Yes.
And think about Jalen Hurts, his talents, what he can do for your offense and what he can do for your team. And do you think that he was the right hire?
I would say
'Cause he's gonna be the play caller.
Maybe because Jalen Hurts is definitely mobile and he
Okay.
likes to use his arm.
So
So he's more of an offensive coordinator or a coach play type calling for him to throw most of the time.
Right.
So it's like maybe it's gonna work, maybe it's not. Hence why it's a trial year. See how it's gonna work.
People ain't got time for these trials.
that's what I'm saying. Like
I mean,
It's a little
You got-
different. It's a little
you
different.
got, but
It's a
you
little
can only
different.
you
It's
can
a
only
little
do trial.
It's gonna have
Go
to
ahead.
happen.
It's
though.
different in Jacksonville when you ain't got nobody.
I'm saying you got a young
Compared to
team
the
in
Eagles.
Jacksonville. You got the Eagles, who even last year was a win now team. You just
Yeah.
missing one person. It's still a win now
It's
team.
different.
So do you think that play calling and the
It might
spread
work.
style of offense that
It
they
might
ran?
work.
Okay.
Because the Colts and the Eagles literally run 2 different styles of offense.
That's what I'm asking.
So
like with
it
Jalen
might
Hurts,
work.
with Jalen Hurts'
That's why I feel
his
it might be
abilities, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I have
I
to
think
see
it's
it.
gonna be interesting.
I
too.
have to see it.
Mm.
Look,
I
literally,
think it's gonna be interesting.
as
too.
much as you don't like it, it has to be a trial year.
All right. So I mean, we talked about the Eagles head coaching, right? And just not too far away, just in New York, they got a new coach. The defensive coordinator from Robert Saleh, defensive coordinator from San Francisco, and I think he's gonna be part of that new transition to that new age for the Jets. I think that if they're one quarterback and a couple pieces, like a couple complementary pieces away, like maybe a receiver or two and a DB or two.
So
Yeah.
so we this guy. So we talked about this earlier in the segment about Deshaun Watson wanting to go there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, if you're Deshaun Watson, do you make that transition to go to Jets?
Depends on how it feels though in my career. Like Deshaun Watson's going to his 6th year, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's still young. He's 27 going on 28. He still has a couple good years about him. Like
you also got to take into effect how much pain and what his body had to deal with being with the Texans. You don't really have you have time because you're young, but your body can only handle so much. But getting sacked over 50 times in a season is not good for you at all.
Of course.
So with that being known,
and the Jets doesn't have a great offensive line either, so expect to get hit at least 15 times.
So with that being said, though, you got a new head coach. If you're Deshaun Watson, and you're also in the stage of your career where you're basically at the top of your game.
You want to win.
Why? Yeah, you want to win.
Yeah.
So why would you go to the Jets?
Because no other team that's in a position to win needs a quarterback. All the playoff teams that you saw, not a good team. Anyway, so sorry. And y'all about to get Carson Wentz, bro. Like, relax. Y'all got Carson, bro.
Yo.
I mean, at this point, it's like, think about the teams that were playoff teams.
Washington football team. They need a
We don't need him though. Like, that's not the guy we need. We need a guy that's gonna stand. We have good receivers. Like, we have a decent offensive line. We need a guy that's gonna stand back there and throw the ball. And Alex Smith, he was a good game manager for us.
He's not Alex Smith anymore.
Even the Steelers, though, like you pick up Haskins.
There's a lot of teams that need a
but this was before.
Yeah,
this was kind of before all this Deshaun thing. I think that if you look at some of the playoff teams or the contending teams.
Okay,
contending teams. I rephrase that. Contending teams.
Mm-hmm. All right.
He's not. A lot of teams don't need a quarterback. I give you 5
Saints
teams.
Too though. They're
not next year. Drew Brees about to retire.
Yeah, Drew Brees is gone.
So I mean, like
they have James Winston for now, but James Winston isn't all that.
The thing about the fit for the offense. I mean, Deshaun Watson, he is a good, but is he able to throw the ball 50 times a game? Which you have to do in
Deshaun?
New Orleans.
Yeah. Do you think Deshaun Watson's gonna be able to throw the ball 50 times a game?
Right now, yeah. I think.
I don't know.
He'll definitely use his legs.
He
doesn't have to.
I don't know.
I think he'll use his legs.
But
that's the thing, though. That's not the offense. They go 5 wide.
He's more of a pocket passer.
It's not like 5 wide.
He looks to run.
He has to.
If he has to, he's gonna.
It's different when you have to.
I don't see him.
If you have to and you are mobile, of course you're going to use your legs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you can sit there and throw that ball, he's going to throw the ball.
They have a good team for him to actually stay in the pocket.
I just don't see him. I don't see him in New Orleans. I feel as though he kind of want to prove himself again.
To who? He ain't got to prove himself to nobody.
If he go, it kind of. He wants to be up there with the Mahomes. He's not up there yet. Because Mahomes got the ring.
But you got to think Mahomes also stepped into a special situation, though.
But the thing is this. But the year before, and Robert Saleh is going to be a good coach. The thing is, the year before Mahomes took over the reins, they weren't as good. They weren't 15-1 or 14-2. Alex Smith didn't take that team that way. They didn't. So my thing is, yeah, he was in a better situation. I get that. But also, he had to throw those guys open, too. Like, he still had to be a quarterback. So, my thing is with Deshaun Watson, I think he wants to be like, you may have had that talent, but I'm going to go to this team. I'm going to go whatever. I think he wants to go to Miami, too. I'm going to go to this team.
He picked the Jets over there.
I think Miami's number 2, though.
But if they trade for Tua for Deshaun, that might be a good one.
And then put Fitzpatrick in the...
I don't want Fitzmagic. I think he wants to be like, no, I'm the best QB in the league. I'm going to take this team,
whatever pieces they got,
and take them to the playoffs or at least to the whatever, and have a winning record. I think that's his mindset. Because why else would you pick the Jets?
He'd have to.
Why else would you pick?
Because like you said, it is a new team, new coach, and they have picks. All they got to do is bring in a couple of different couple pieces.
There was one.
But they're not but he's got probably 3 more years before it's like, all right, cool. Next generation is He's got 3 more years before it's like, all right, cool. He ain't top 5 no more. Like, it's gonna be about 3 or 4 more years. Like, he has great talent, but I think he wants to win. He wants to find success. Mahomes found it in his first 3-4 years. It's a great situation, but at the same time, it's still his peer. No matter how bad it was, like, it's still his peer. Like, we still hold Phillip Rivers to the same criteria as we do Eli Manning. I'm sorry, we do though.
Yeah, because the same draft class.
Yeah. So my thing is like, you still gotta. At the end of the day, he's still an NFL quarterback, no matter what year he's in at this point, honestly. So it's like, you gotta win.
I get it.
You got to show you got to win. So I think that if he picked those two teams, it's like, all right, cool, I can take those teams and win. If he goes to the Steelers, it's like, I surrounded myself with talent. You know,
He
it's
found the easy way out.
exactly
I still don't think that's the easy way out because of who you
easier,
have to face.
easier.
I mean, you need
Baltimore
talent
ain't
to
straight
win,
defense.
though.
Yeah, it's
Baltimore-
not only
It's
that.
hard to.
But that's
to,
the thing.
To try
He-
to take
but that's the thing, though.
Miami
You was
or
about
the
to bring up
Jets.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not
If-
putting
if-
fear in people no more. I don't know.
with
Nah.
Baltimore.
Yeah, no.
It's just the
As
fact
a
that they
regular
don't have
season,
they don't have
They're not, I'm
wide
sorry.
receivers.
Yeah.
That's why I say
I think they need more pieces around Lamar.
Sorry,
If they get
sorry,
more,
sorry.
if they get more pieces around Lamar, it's gonna get dark for people.
He needs another receiver. He needs a good,
He
solid
needs,
number
he
one
needs,
receiver.
yeah. The thing is, he doesn't have no number one receiver.
Very consistent.
I feel like that's the
number
reason
one,
why
bro.
he
I mean,
overthinks, he
but-
overthrows
I like
sometimes.
Hollywood Brown.
But
I
He's a
do.
solid number 2 though.
They-
I know,
They,
but then
they
come
tried to go to
playoff
Kansas
time,
City.
it's like,
They
bro,
tried to go
what's
to Kansas City
going
route.
on?
They tried to go to Kansas City route. They just getting a fast ass receiver with a quarterback that can throw the ball, and they're not in the right conference for. I mean, they're not in the right division for that.
It's not-
Actually, has hands to
it's
be
not-
consistent.
No. What I'm saying is that Hollywood came in after Tariq. So I'm saying that they went with that blueprint of like, all we need is a guy that can stretch the field. We have a quarterback that can stretch the field.
Yeah.
So what they forgot was, I mean,
They forgot that Tyreek Hill was a different type of fast.
he's a different,
Yeah.
and he got
Like,
a
he's
different
a-
type of hands too.
Yeah.
Like the way he's catching the ball, he's double covered. He's 5'10". Like the way he's going up to go get it, the way he's maneuvering through defenders to go get the ball and to even score. Like this dude is on a
And they
different
got
level.
Travis Kelce.
Yo, his
And the
footwork,
threat of
bro,
that, man. The
his
threat.
footwork
Not a threat.
is
He
a
is
problem.
he's a problem. Travis Kelce
the
is a
threat.
problem.
Bro,
Yeah.
So
literally,
It's a threat.
bruh,
And then
Tyreek
what just
Hill's
happened, like-
footwork, yo,
Tyreek Hill, he just went off against the Bills. 172 yards, 9 receptions.
Yeah.
That boy good.
Look,
That boy good.
good. I feel like good is not even is an understatement.
And
Good
then
is an understatement. That boy
his
is
speed
massive.
is second to none. Like to see
This
him,
man-
oh my gosh,
This man
bro.
really ran
So to
22
try to say they
miles
took the
an
blueprint,
hour,
I see it,
bro. He was
but-
just as fast as a car.
but the blueprint
faster.
don't work if you don't have somebody like Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Like
No.
Hollywood Brown,
Of course.
fast,
But you don't know that.
ain't-
But you don't know
he
that until you
not
actually
Tyreek
draft a guy.
fast.
You don't
He's
know
not
that
good
until
in
you
double
draft the
coverage.
guy. That's the thing. You don't know that until you after it's like, oh damn, we had a year with this guy. And plus he was hurt half his first year. This is only his second year. He said he's feeling a lot better. I don't believe it, but he said he was feeling a lot better. And it was, you didn't see it until it was like, he's not that. He's not that guy.
And then
Even
they-
Tyreek, I don't think he's a number one receiver, but
He
he's
playing like
he's
it.
playing. Yeah, you could play that. I don't know, look, man. I don't think he's a number one, but I think that he is a great player for any team. To be honest,
He's
a great
just
player, but not a
the
number
thing
one.
is the thing is he's a playmaker.
Yeah.
And when you're a playmaker like Tyreek Hill, you don't really have to be the number one anything, because you're going to make plays. The thing about a playmaker is you have to put the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
He's going to force you to put the ball in his hands,
But,
regardless if
yeah.
you put him on punt team, kickoff
But
team,
yeah, that would make you a number
put him
one
in
though.
the slot, put him on the outside. You have to give a person like Tyreek Hill the ball.
I get it.
He could substitute for being the number one. If you don't have a number one, you got a player like Tyreek Hill who's a playmaker.
I get it. I
He's
just
going to
don't
make
think he's
plays.
number one.
He's been making plays for them.
I'm not disagreeing
So-
with that. He's definitely a playmaker, but
Yeah.
So the thing is, though, for Baltimore, like, they didn't have the wide receiver. They definitely didn't have the tight end as far as, like, a Travis Kelce. Because I don't care what nobody say.
Mark Andrews is nice, but he's not a Travis
Yeah,
Kelce.
you
He's
feel
not.
me?
No.
So,
And they traded away the other tight end. I forgot his name.
even last year when
Yeah,
they went
two
to the
of 'em.
playoffs, their tight end dropped, like, 6 passes in
Yeah.
the playoffs.
It always
Like,
comes
6
down
passes.
to the
but-
receivers. Last
Either
year,
way, I agree
it's
with you.
proven
Yeah,
it's
it's
down
always
to the
yeah,
receivers.
it's always to the
Literally.
receivers.
And then
Even though
when
Lamar
Jackson-
does
yeah.
make mental mistakes, like he threw that interception, I just feel like he's overthinking.
Yeah,
I
those-
feel like
those
he
happen,
has to.
I feel like he forced it.
Because
Honestly, if you really look at it,
He missed the
Andrews-
coverage though. He did miss the coverage.
Yeah,
He
I'm
was
gonna give
playing
that.
under. He
that
missed the
and,
coverage.
and Andrews wasn't even finished running his route.
But
he
my
was really about to like cut in, come back in, and then boom, the ball was already thrown. As soon as he turns around, picked off.
But my thing is though, I think he feel as though he has to do it by himself. And the thing is, he's a very humble guy. He always takes the responsibility, take on that weight of, yeah, it's my fault. He's not gonna blame nobody. He's not gonna blame the pieces that's around him. But I think Baltimore is missing. They're missing.
They're missing
I agree with
pieces.
you.
They're missing it. They're missing it. But
regular season, they'll smack everybody.
But even as far as Deshaun Watson, like to go to the Jets or Miami and to say I want to win now, it's just I don't know. I don't know if I make that move to say I want to go to the Jets or Miami and to think I'm going to win now. Like, cause
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think you are. You can't win now with those teams.
Well, we got to see what the offseason is going to do. What's going to happen in the offseason?
Look, man.
I don't know.
Man.
We don't know.
I'm not optimistic about next year for him.
I'm not either. We don't know, like I said, until we see what happens.
After the first year, like I keep saying it, bro, because like it's always down to being a trial year. You have to see what's gonna happen.
You don't get trial years.
Not every year is trial year.
But that's the thing, though. As a coach,
year is the trial year. That's all I'm saying.
So let me ask you a question. You know, Robert Saleh is an African American male, right?
Okay.
He don't get a trial year. I'm sorry, he don't.
Okay.
They had Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is a hell of a. You see what he's doing right now with the Buccaneers?
Okay.
Like, he is really having those guys playing very, very well.
Okay.
My thing is that I don't think they're going to. I don't think he gets a trial run.
I don't think he gets a trial run.
I don't think a lot of coaches get a trial run, but I don't think he gets a trial
I
run.
think Urban Meyer
I don't understand.
is just going to get a little bit.
But he's had a lot more head coaching success than Robert Saleh has had.
Like, how often can you expect a team, you just get, everything is brand new, and how do you expect to go so far? You have to put everything together and see how it works.
Front office.
I think
and that's their problem. That's the front office problem.
That's what I'm saying. They won't give him a trial.
Put everything together, like, all right, bet we're fresh, we're new, we're gonna go all the way to the Super Bowl and win.
I think Urban Meyer and Robert Saleh got a longer leash than Nick Sirianni.
Why?
Because I feel like he said, Eagles, they had pieces to win now. As far as the Jets,
won 2 years ago.
I mean, they still got a couple of pieces though.
No, I'm saying, like,
compared to the Jets.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
in Jacksonville in the division the Eagles is in.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they won recently.
You can go to the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. They won recently. So I'm saying, like, I have no problem. Like, Sirianni, like, I think that he's gonna have a much longer leash, especially coming off what they just came off with Doug Peterson. So, but with Saleh and
I think his leash is short.
Especially after what they did last year.
I think Sirianni's leash is short.
That's like a waste of time because you're not really seeing how anything's gonna mesh well. You're not really giving it a chance.
That's how the league works.
Done?
That's how the league works.
But that's terrible though.
But
it is. But
I don't think Sirianni's gonna go one and done. I think I think they'll give him 2 to 3. Maybe. Regardless of the contract.
Saleh, I'm hoping that
Saleh, on the other hand, I think he's going to get 3 to 4.
I'm hoping.
Urban Meyer, I think he's going to get his whole contract. Because of his name. Yeah, I don't think it's the name. I just think the makeup of the team itself. I just feel like that they need a lot.
This thing, Urban Meyer's coaching in Florida. He won 2 national championships to Florida. Like the state of Florida.
You can't compare.
But it's the thing though. It's the fan support. He's going to get a lot of support from fans. Like, he's brought a winning title to the state. No matter what school it was, no matter what level it was, he brought titles to the state. He was facing good competition. Really good. Especially SEC. Mid 2000s, 2008, 2009. Like, think about the teams he's had. You know that he can produce and he can develop talent. I think that he gets a much longer leash. With Saleh, you saw him defensively really excel for a couple years. Couple years before that, he was more of an assistant, way more behind the scenes. Last 2 years is when he really started, his name started being in a lot of people's mouths, especially after they got to the Super Bowl.
That's for sure.
So I think that he has a much shorter leash because there's still so many unknowns about him. You don't know how he talks to offensive players. You don't know how he talks to a lot of people, to be honest with you. You're talking about a head coach of a losing franchise where you got to turn that around. You got to change that culture. You got to do this. You got to do this. It's not like I'm coming into the Steelers and like everything is already set out.
Basically, that's what I'm saying.
So I think that he gets a much shorter leash because it's like we don't know if he can do that. That's the thing. That's all I'm saying.
I still say Nick Sirianni leash is the shortest out of all 3 of them.
That's your point.
Let's go to the NFL breakdown. These conference championships, the NFC, the AFC. Did y'all expect Tampa Bay to go to the Super Bowl?
Yes.
You did. I didn't.
I didn't either. I thought the Packers.
Tom Brady is literally the NFL's golden boy.
That's
So
cool.
what you gonna say is rigged?
Is that what you saying? I mean, if that's
I mean,
what you're
if
going
you want to
with.
get into it, let's
Yeah,
get
yeah,
into
yeah.
it. Let's get into it.
I'm just saying their defense came up with
Yeah.
some major stops.
The way that game was played last night, it couldn't have been rigged.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If it was rigged, then Matt LaFleur needs to be fired because the only way that they lost was because of him. If you don't kick that field goal and you go for it,
You definitely don't kick that field
yeah,
goal.
you got to go for that.
That's one, but
But-
they also didn't. They did not convert those turnovers into points.
No, and their defense
Like,
was horrible later on in the game.
Exactly. Exactly.
I was actually counting on that
he
defense.
threw 3 picks in 3 consecutive drives.
Yes, sir.
One they scored off of,
Yes, sir.
and it was 2 3 and outs. That's it.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
He's-
And then it was,
yes, sir.
and then they kicked the field goal. I don't know why, but you go for the 2-point conversion in the third quarter, which
And
I don't
it
get.
worked.
Like,
Much different
he
game.
dropped a pass.
Much different.
But
game.
you don't
Come
go
on now.
aggressive third quarter and then go past the fourth quarter and think, oh yeah, we're
I
gonna
get
stop.
that.
Like, come on, that
I
don't
get
make
that.
sense to me.
I mean, the way that they were playing, you just said he came off of 3 picks, right?
Yeah.
You talking about
Back to
4th and
back to
goal on the 2-3 yard line, right? You go for the sure points, or you put the ball in A-Rod's hand, and hopefully, seeing how they played on that goal line, especially Carlton Banks versus Devontae Adams, where you know that ball is going to Devontae Adams, the way Carlton Banks was playing them,
I put the ball, who I
mean,
think is going to be the MVP, Aaron Rodgers' hands.
we just gonna let
And
him
I'm-
run?
Make a play. Make a play.
That's what I'm saying,
make a
though.
play.
The way that
Outsmart,
defense was playing,
outplay him.
Bro, I don't know.
I don't know.
I just feel like you make a play. You don't kick the field goal and then give the ball back to Tom Brady.
but that's the thing, though. You got to trust your defense, which, honestly, I'm not too mad at. I understand why you trust your defense with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. You had 3 timeouts. All you do is stop him from getting a first down. You let him get a first down on the second play. That's the problem. That was the problem. Because if they had stopped them and they used all 3 timeouts, they'd have got the ball back with a minute and a half left.
It's a lot of ifs.
Yeah, it was.
My thing is, you win the game.
Leonard
or
Fournette
you-
ain't scored.
I'd rather win or die by Aaron Rodgers and not by my defense. That's
Well,
all I'm saying.
in
I'm not
hindsight,
saying
yeah.
nothing's wrong.
Defense.
I'm not
In
saying
hindsight,
nothing's
yeah.
wrong with the defense.
Okay.
But I'm saying I'm going to put it in who I think is the MVP of the league. I'm
So-
going to put it in Aaron Rodgers' hands.
So-
We're gonna win or die by you.
So let me ask you a question. What happens? What would have been your course of action if he didn't convert that 4th and goal?
I'll be fine. I'd rather lose on him not converting than lose because my defense couldn't stop the bucket.
I mean,
That's just me.
you see,
You not put the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands and you die by your defense. And then not only that, you're trying to stop Tom Brady for a 4th time. It's very hard to make him throw 3 picks.
But he
3
did.
picks on the drive.
Yeah, he
To make him
did.
do it for a
He said
4th
it.
time?
but you didn't have to make him throw.
For the 4th time?
He wasn't
Come on,
making
bro.
them throw. The point was this: when you have in that situation, you had 2 minutes left to go. They only had to do was get a first down. You run the ball 3 times. You want the clock keep going, and the other team has to call the timeout. So I wasn't expecting the ball wasn't going to be in Tom's hands. I wasn't expecting the ball in Tom's hands. The thing about that defense, that front 7 versus that front 5, and that running back. Could they stop Ron Jones and could they stop Leonard Fournette? And they just couldn't, even though they have one of the best front 4s in the league. So that was just based on, like, to be honest, I would have trusted my defense too. I don't know if I'd have kicked the field goal, but I'd have trusted my defense to be like,
I would have went for it too.
My thing is
I
though,
went for it.
do you go for it or you kick the field goal? That's my thing is because if you kick
tough
the
one.
field goal, you're automatically trusting in your defense, regardless if you think so or
That's
you're
a
not.
tough one.
I understand the
That's a tough
sure
one.
points.
Because regardless if you don't convert, you still have to trust that defense to get you the ball back.
Yeah.
To put it back in Aaron Rodgers' hands. So do you take that field goal or do you let Aaron Rodgers tie the game?
I would
possibly
go for
tie
it.
the game.
I would go
Possibly.
For it. I would
So you
go
got
for it.
a sure 3 versus a possible. It's a defensive game once you get inside the 20. It is. I'm sorry. You have to guard less space. It's way more congested. You really got to find a way. So with that, he was on a 2-yard line. That's 12 yards you really got to work with. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a real tough one.
Bro, I'm trusting Aaron Rodgers.
That's a tough
I
one.
don't care.
In that
I'm going
situation, if
for
I'm
it.
on the field, I don't know. The way the defense is playing, King, he coming up, he like, come on now.
Well, the GOAT is back to his 7th.
He's gonna get it.
He's going back.
Versus the young.
He's not going back to that far. He's loading up for his 7th. I don't know if he's going to get it. I like Kansas City, but let's switch over
that
to the
defense,
Kansas City versus the Bills. Are y'all shocked
No.
by how the
No.
outcome of this game came
No.
out? Do you think it was going to be a little closer?
No.
I did.
Okay.
No,
I did.
What makes you say that?
No.
I like Buffalo. Plus, the whole week, I didn't know if Patrick Mahomes was going to be physically
Ready.
up to it.
Yeah.
So even with that, mentally as a quarterback, that's a tough one. Because I mean, any one hit
Yeah.
could have been it. And I don't wish that upon anybody, but
Yeah.
you didn't know how he was going to play. And that Buffalo Bills defense can get at you. Ed Olivier, that the inside and in the middle, that D tackle, man, he was killing people when he was at SMU back, a couple years ago. Like that, I like the Bills defense. I'm with Bills Mafia, but it was a good game, and the better quarterback and the better team won. So congratulations to Kansas City.
Yeah.
Definitely congratulations to Kansas City.
I want
But-
them to go back to back.
I want them to go back to back too. I do not want to see Tom Brady get his
I
time.
think he's gonna get it.
You think he's gonna get it?
Low key.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I like Kansas City.
I do too, but I
I
really
like
feel like
Kansas
they're
City.
gonna give it to me.
Think about the defense you saw yesterday
keep
in
saying
Tampa
they?
Bay.
He keep just saying the NFL like, yeah,
We
just
not
give it to Tom Brady.
Think about the defense the Bucks had yesterday versus Aaron Rodgers. You gotta have that versus Patrick Mahomes. And think about the defense Patrick Mahomes or the Chiefs had versus Tom Brady.
I'm going Mahomes. So let's get into our final segment of the show, man. Quarantine COVID protocol for the NBA, NFL. How do you feel about it? Like as far as these players still being out, able to go out, they're not wearing masks and stuff like that, and then they're sitting out these couple days of games or however long they're going to sit out and get repercussions from the league, and then come back and play. Like it's not like the bubble where all of these players are in one arena. You know what I mean?
Quarantined
Especially
and-
not in the NFL because you definitely can't do
you
that.
can't. No, way too many players.
And now they're trying to actually, they're trying to add players not players, but fans to the NBA now as well too. Trying to start implement fans coming back, trying to figure out.
Only certain cities though. It can only be certain cities.
only certain
It's
cities,
always
but
been certain
still,
cities for both
still
sports.
just
Like,
to have them start coming
I'm
back.
saying Milwaukee
How do
might
y'all-
have them. Like,
How do y'all feel about what they're doing? Do you think they're on the right track, or you think it's just a business decision?
I think it's a business decision.
Business.
I think both leagues are all over the place. To be honest with you, because you have the NCAA who was doing a great job of it, and like they had their college football players, they had them wearing. Most schools had like the actual mask on them, like they actually had shields over their faces. It sucks when you're wearing a visor and all that stuff because it probably gets hot in there. But the types of precautions that they went to take is bar none. Like the NFL is like, well, we're gonna screen you guys when you get in here, but I mean, other than that, y'all just gotta watch where y'all go.
Yeah.
I mean, the NBA, the college, they did it well. They tried to have them all in a hotel, similar to what the NBA did last year, the bubble. But we just saw something went with Kyrie and Bam. We just talked about this before the show.
Oh yeah.
Like-
yeah.
Kyrie went to a family,
Right? Like, is this helping or
went
is
to see
it
family,
hurting?
and then came back.
Yeah, I mean, like some of these are good protocols and good precautions, but other stuff is like we've already jersey swap. We've already played in the game, football contact. You literally, I think this year you had to put it down. Like you had to talk to the equipment manager so they could send them a jersey. You couldn't give them a jersey after the game. I would want that game worn jersey with that signature on it by Tom Brady, or Russell Wilson, by Mahomes, by J.J. Watt, by those guys. Like I would want those jerseys, those game worn jerseys. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the rest of the season plays out for the NBA. Because I don't think they've had many COVID tests. I'm not gonna put on that, but I don't think they've had many COVID positives this year, and that's a good thing. And I hope they keep that up. But
They have postponed a lot of games.
They have.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because for the NBA, I know the Washington Wizards had the most with 6 right now.
Yeah. And like honestly, like personally, I feel like it definitely hurts them, but it is definitely a business decision because it's like, nah, I'm gonna make my money. I want to make my money because if we don't have fans here, I'm not selling tickets, so I'm not making as much money as I can. So that's why everything's still active. They still allow fans in
So-
because they want that green. They need it.
And that's something that I've been talking to a few people about because college, right? College sports. A lot of these schools can't afford scholarships because some of this stuff. You can't have fans. You can't have revenue coming in. You can't have A lot of these players not coming to these schools, so you're not getting this financial aid from the state. Like, it's a lot of stuff that's affected by this COVID thing. And, I mean, it's going to be, and I've talked to some of my players because I coach football, and I talked to some of my guys. I'm like, it's going to be tough for some of y'all. Like, it's going to be tough. Like, a lot of these supposedly D1 guys, some of these schools don't have money to offer them.
And that even leads me to
NFL and basketball the same way.
To high school as well. They got these high school players wearing masks in their games. And how can that be even effective when you're still having physical contact with the guys?
You got to play man on somebody.
Would you send your kid to these schools to play these games? Would you still even send them to college to play games? Because at the end of the day, it's still a risk. Like, what would you do as a parent? Like, if you had kids and you're in that later age, do you allow them to chase their dreams, or do you sit back and you play and you're cautious with it, because this is a delicate situation?
I tell you this: it depends on my situation. That's my first answer. It depends on my situation.
So what do you mean by depends on your situation?
If you're my ticket out of the hood, I'm sorry.
You will live vicariously through your kids.
I'm sorry.
All right.
But no, literally.
I understand.
NBA, NFL, NCAA, all of that.
No, I get
half of them, not even half, more than half, that was their ticket out.
I get it.
Okay.
So if you're literally my ticket out, I'm sorry. I got to send you. But I'm not sorry. We can't keep living here because we live here. We ain't going to live, if you know what I mean. We're not.
Only reason why I'm not going
because it's not a good situation that we're in. So I'm sorry, but
I can't discount that, because that's a real situation.
Yeah, literally.
I mean,
I know we're not really talking about this,
no,
but
it's a point.
But I was watching the U documentary, the first one. You want to know how they became such a threat? Because they took their butts to the hood in Florida. Literally. They took their bus to the hood in Florida. How they got Michael Irvin,
Snellenberger. Yep.
How they got Sean Taylor,
Randall Hill.
You feel me?
Randall
they went
Hill.
to the hood and they said we knew where to find the best talent, and the best talent is where you're gonna find the kids who are hungry, because they're tired of that situation. They're tired of eating government cheese.
But that's the problem, though, right? So you can't get out to those states and you can't get out to those areas. You can't offer those kids to get there if you don't have no money. Mm-hmm. That's the whole point. So if I'm not selling tickets, I'm not selling concessions, I'm not selling merchandise, I'm not bringing in no money from the donors because they don't have nothing to go off of. At the end of the year, their trustee meeting or their board of donors, it's like there's nothing to show for. We did a 7-5 season this year. We didn't have anybody in the stands, so we couldn't really generate too much money here. But we got to, it's. All I'm gonna say is that it's definitely messing a lot of people up. And personally, if I was in that position where my child or my future children would be in that position, it'd be tough. Because you want them to chase their dream, because they're not getting any younger. And if I wait, all right, you know what, we can't do it this year. You're gonna have to wait till next year. And they're an 11th grader. Like, I got senior kids right now that are like, I need a season. I need something to happen. I need to get some type of film. I need to get some type of look. And by not doing anything, you're not giving them any type of opportunity. So it's a tough one. But at the same time, you can only hope that they're being safe. You can only hope that they're being safe, their teammates are being safe, the coaches, the people that's transporting them, the other team. You can only hope that people are understanding the severity of this pandemic and that they're reacting to it in the appropriate way. But to say that I'm holding my child out for being, for athletics, I don't know. I probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I don't know if I could do that.
Especially because you did put money, depending on whenever they started.
Yeah, plus I'm
You
paying
put
for
so
training,
much money, bro.
time, man.
Especially Boys and Girls Club. Like, come on now. You have to wake up early for 2-a-days. You know what I'm saying? All these sacrifices. You have to train a little harder than the other kids. Like, you have to do a lot. So I'm not just going to say, like, nah, that's it.
Yeah.
My foreign parents, they would do that. My foreign parents would do that.
My parents like, does the train still work? The train,
wow. Like, come on now.
The train still works. You going to practice.
I didn't send you to school for sports. I sent you to school for an education.
I was saying, you getting that education now.
What you mean? That's my folks.
That's respect. That's respect. But
Man. So that concludes today's episode of Chalk It to the Game.
Great convo, man.
Definitely. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys. I'm Marquise.
Josu.
KB.
And we got production Steve in the back.
PS.
Hey.
PS.
Until next time, peace.
We out.
Peace.